Hello, this is JilliBling. Today's project is the second using Pretty Florals bundle. So here it is. And in the Pretty Florals bundle, there are dies to cut out all these images, and it's two-step stamping, which is a lot of fun. But also there are dies that are a little bit bigger, a little bit different shaped, but still the same style as a Pretty Florals. And they will cut out all of these pieces. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. So Pretty Florals bundle, Pattern of Friendship for this big die, which is a lot of fun. Spotlight on Nature for the circle, we'll put the greeting on. Notes and Totes for the Just a Note. And there's nothing on the inside, so you can write whatever you like on the inside. Okay, get this close. So embossing, we'll be using a little embossing buddy. So let's start out with cutting out the flowers and the leaves. So I have a little note of what needs to be cut out. 4 big flowers. There's 3 here, 1 on the inside. 1 tulip trio. It's just a filler. So it's not just simply 3 flowers. It's like a little flower. And I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you the die here in just a minute. 4 big flower detail. So when you look at this flower, see how there's the bottom piece and the top piece is a little bit lighter and it has all that detail on it? That's what I'm referring to as detail. 5 big leaves. These are the big leaves. 1, 2, 3. On the inside is 4 and 5. Then the branches, there should be 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. And then there's 1 of them that's split up. 4. And then 5 black centers. So I use the detail die, ran it through, focusing just on the center, just to kind of ground each of the flowers. Okay, so let's get those pieces. And if you have a sheet of Lost Lagoon paper, all the paper cut sizes will be in the video description. This Lost Lagoon paper is 2 3/4 by 8 1/2, and it is perfect size to get all of your die cut pieces out. The 5 larger leaves and the 4 branches. So I have some of them done, but I purposely left some off to the side so that we can use the blending brush to give it a little bit of depth. Like, see these here, how they're a little bit more 3D versus without. So those are not done. This will cut the circle. Let me do that. And hang on to this outside black piece because that's what will be used to make the flower centers. So the flower centers, let's do that since it's right here. This is the detail die, which we'll do in Poppy Parade, and then also in black, just a little bit. Put it right on there, because all we need is the black center. And you'll do that 4 times, because we have 4 flowers. So at first it comes out looking a little crazy, but we'll trim that up to make it work just fine. This little paper is for the detail, so we'll cut out 4 of those. And this is how that cuts out. There you go. A little bit easier to see. Then this larger poppy paper, we'll cut out 4 of the large die. This die right here. And 1 of the tulip die. Trying to get it left-handed isn't working. So 1 of those. And we're going to use the dauber or the blending brush and poppy to give the flowers just a little bit of depth. So here is 1 without. And see the difference with and without the blending brush? But we'll do the blending brush here in just a minute. This is for the inside. So I think we have all the pieces ready to go. Oh, and then the leaves. The leaves, 5 big leaves and 4 branches. And those are right here. Okay. Oh, and then this die. I love this die. So I'm going to take my paper and run it through my machine and get this textured. Isn't that fun? And it naturally curls a little bit. So that's why I have my big block. So how about if we start out by gluing this down, and then I'm going to use just a little bit of white to let it dry and hold it in place. Because if you put just this on with glue, it just keeps popping up, curling up. So I'm going to be a little bit heavy on glue just because that die is so textured. There's not that much contact area for the glue. So if I'm a little bit heavy with the glue, it should work just fine. And I know that paper is going to go very close to the edge, so I'm confident in there's a bit of a border. There'll be no glue squirting out the sides. Okay, so I'll put this on here, and I know it's going to pop right back up, but at least get it straight. Okay, there it is. So I'll scooch this over and take my acrylic block, just kind of weight it and let it dry. Another one. This is all kind of heavy. Okay, let's do, oh, and on the inside, I'll tell you, the paper, when I was making the sample, my scratch paper came out so pretty. Isn't that all pretty? I thought, let me put a little bit of that on the inside of the card. So we could do just a little bit of that. Otherwise, it's kind of boring on the inside. And that's done just in the Pretty Peacock. And it's just kind of random. So at this point, I'm doing the blending brush more to decorate the inside of the paper. And then I'll go back later and I'll put more color on the Lost Lagoon leaf. Isn't that fun? And the less ink that's on your blending brush, the softer the look will be. But we know it doesn't last forever. Okay, that one's kind of getting tossed up a little bit. Once I glue it down, it'll be fine. Then this one, this one's a little more fragile. And just because it's going to be layered, if the die cut piece moves a little bit when you're doing the blending brush, it's okay. Just because we're doing another layer, pieces are crossing over. Might be needing more ink. Oh, that still shows. I might do another pass at some of these once there's not as much ink on here, because I'm going to ink it up right now. Oh, and another thing is if you want your leaves going a different direction, flip it over. We'll do that on the next pass. Okay, so let's start with this one. And I know this is going to be really heavy ink, which is not really what I want on here, But if I do it lightly, and see, that's just a little bit too heavy and too streaky for what I'm going for on the inside. I just need less ink, which will happen here soon. Okay, and I'll turn this one over. And it's going to be heavier than what was done before, but that's okay. Creates interest, right? Isn't that pretty? Perfect place to put a poppy parade flower. Okay. Is that enough? It's just nice because now there's not that much ink on the blending brush, so it creates a soft effect. Okay, so we got all those done. Oh, not this one. I did just the back side. Okay, so let's do the poppy parade now. So the poppy parade doesn't show up as much as the pretty peacock. We could trim this thing. So to trim it, just come around the edges. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And the bottom part will be smaller than what the flower center is, but it looks good. Okay, so this piece here, this detail piece, does not get any blending brush on it. So I'm putting that on there a little light, glue, thin, light, just setting that there, and then getting the flower center tips lined up. Okay, I'll let that dry. Okay, Poppy Parade on this flower. So I'm going to try to find an area that doesn't have Pretty Peacock on it, because one time the Pretty Peacock ink, a little bit of it, because it was fresh, it got onto my blending brush and didn't turn out terrible, but it'd be better doing it in its whole new different area. And you want to be a little bit heavy on applying the ink with the blending brush to the flower, because you want contrast from here to here. If you do it lightly, that's nice and soft, but then you don't get that much contrast. Okay, so I think we're done with blending brushes. And I'm gonna let this ink dry, the Poppy Parade ink dry, just a little bit on the big flower before I stick this down with glue. Maybe just a minute or so. We could do the greeting on the front, the just a note. Pieces and pieces. Okay. So, just a note. We're going to use our embossing buddy and Versamark. Just a note. That's the only stamping. Okay, it goes into white embossing powder, and then we'll heat it. I think Emma is here. She's here for the weekend. Okay, looks good. And if you have any little freckles, try to get them off. If you can't remove them before you heat set it, once you heat set it, they're on there permanently. But you could use your Sharpie marker to color in the top of any of those little dots. But if you can, get them removed before you heat it. Okay, the sticky end on here works really good. I think it's time to start assembling. So to put the detail piece onto the bold flower, I'm going to put glue just around the outside edges, and then to line it up, if you can look at a picture of a completed flower, it just makes it a lot easier for lining up. I'll put pictures inside and out on my blog, which is JilliBling.com, and sometimes it's nice just to have reference, like where do these little pieces go, otherwise you're scooching it around. Because there is the blending brush ink, the poppy ink on there, if you scooch it around too much, the glue gathers the ink and it kind of leaves a puddle looking mark. So if possible, best case scenario, it would be to know right where it goes, put it down, and make sure it's secure. If you have to scooch it a few times, it kind of gets a little messy. But I know it's not always possible. Okay, so for hints, if your flower is upright, this corner right here on the right side gets, trying to find one, it gets this rounded part. These here are going to be in the petal, do I say this right? Petal cracks. So that goes right there. So petal cracks, what I mean is, it's probably not the right word to use. So if you have your flower, see how this little pointy thing, it identifies the leaf. So it goes right in between the two leaves. This one I don't have on there quite straight. The glue is still wet, so I could kind of scooch it. Okay, and then just let those dry. And I put glue just around the outside edge of the detail piece because, sure, you could use it on the inside, but that was my place to hold on to. And also that gives you more chances of smearing glue all over the Poppy Parade blending brushed area. Okay, so now you know how to make those. Here are a few more completed leaves and branches. And here are the tulips from that one die. I used a blending brush just on the tips of them, and that's going to help fill in my little trail of flowers. And here are the 3 other flowers for the front. That one could be the inside. Okay, let's see what we have. This goes on the inside. Because there's no stamping, I can attach that. Okay. Oh, and where's the paper base? That is still underweight. Oh, and it dried just fine. Hi. Oh, and Emma? Yeah. Don't make up your bed yet. Before the doors open, I want to show you stuff.
I'm going to stay at their place tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay. So there's no need for bed. Okay, so that is in. Doesn't that look nice? So I will put one dimensional on here, then tuck the leaves all around, and then I'll put more dimensionals underneath the flower. And I'll put this right in the middle, the dimensional, so there's room to still tuck the leaves. Right in the middle. We'll be using more. I'll put it at a little bit of an angle. And naturally you'd say, oh, keep it on the white paper, but because there's the black border and the bordering blue, that does look like bordering blue, cloud cover, I can drop it down a little bit lower. And get one of these. So let's see, this one, I have it over here. Let's try it opposite, see if that works. There. Ooh, I got heavy on that ink. Maybe here and here. Well, that looks good. See how that background, having the blending brush on there, it makes all the difference? Okay, so to attach these leaves, I'm going to take some mini dimensionals and cut them in half. Just because the leaves are so small. I think 3 dimensionals, mini dimensionals, will pretty much do the job. So that was 1. Two. And the third one. Okay, and then I'll put glue at the bottom, and that will just be underneath the flower and well secured. That'll also make the flower stand out just a little bit more. So I'm thinking about over here. Okay, then here, that looked good just like that. So I'll attach it with some glue. Okay, out of place. And glue and dimensionals again. So tuck in right here. And I'm going to do it a little bit. Oh, the dog is excited about something. What's he so crazy about? Okay, so the inside is done. So the outside, look how nice that turned out. And see how flat it is. Okay, that has the center in it. Okay, so let's build the outside. The outside is going to be attached with, how about dimensionals under the words. And because the flowers are going to have dimensionals, I'm going to just put glue here, because that's going to be completely hidden and buried. So kind of close to the edge, making sure that the letters are up and down. Okay. See, that right there looks pretty. And one flower. Okay, with leaves. See, it's very nice. What about a ribbon? So for the flowers, I'll put them on with, maybe I'll do a mini dimensional, just one in the center for now. Because once again, the leaves need to be tucked underneath. So this one I have kind of going upside down. I'm going to make these flowers just a little bit closer together, a little snugger. And then this one could go here. And this one can tuck underneath. So now you know why I have those little fillers of the tulips. And yeah, they are tulips, but when you have just a little bit sticking out, it will pass as a rose or a peony or whatever this is, this flower. So maybe here, here. Okay. So I thinking of how they land. This one can have a dimensional on the outside and glue underneath. They're on the top, and then glue. Okay. This one I'll put the dimensional here on the outside and then glue on the inside. Like this outside edge, we'll get the dimensional and glue. Okay, then there's this one, and I'll put the dimensional here and the rest will get glue. I should just do it this way. Dimensional, and then glue. Okay, so that's done. So now these flowers, or these leaves, on this one I put 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, so I'll do this opposite. 1 at the top, I'll do the dark one. This one is dramatic. The top, maybe 2 of them here. Trying to do it just a little bit different. Okay, and I'm just checking the look right now. So that, oh, that looks kind of good covering the little pretend mini flower. That's like a flower bud. That's what that is. And so one of these, I took off these 2 pieces. They can go. I don't want that little torn edge being seen. Okay. This can go maybe just like that. Something needs to go here though. Maybe this one can be stretched. And I could also move the flowers. I'll move the flowers. See, that's why it's one-dimensional. Oh, that's better. Okay, where did all these go? Okay. And how about I kind of want to stick it back together. There and okay, how about that? Okay, so now I have to stick down all the leaves. I'll do dimensionals, a mini cut in half, and then glue at the bottom. And I can't forget to tack down all those flowers. Okay, so there's that. And a little bit of glue. Where did it go? I think it's hiding under here. Oop. Glue smear. I really like that embossing folder. So let's do the big one. Oh, these are tucked underneath it. Okay, so I'll just do 1 mini dimensional cut in half. Okay. And then glue down here. Oh, I should show you the first trying to cover up that torn piece. The first sample. Look at this one. When have you seen me do anything yellow or orange? And then this pops open. That was a previous video, if you want to make that. And the video description has the paper cut sizes. Okay, so where were we? Mini dimensional, cut in half. Okay. And, oop. Then glue on the tip. And then the big leaf. Kind of nice how they're crossing. Okay, so this one can get a big dimensional. Glue at the bottom. This is just kind of repetitive. The bling, I think I want to do something a little different with the bling. This one, if I put a dimensional on it, it's going to be like a double, triple stack because, well, underneath the flowers are more dimensionals. This is a hand deliver card. There. Oh. And then glue. Okay, so that one gets tucked in. Is it here or here? It's here. Oh, I'm covering up my words. Okay, those need to be attached. Aren't those pretty? And big dimensionals for these. It gets tucked under. I still have to tuck these, tuck the flowers down. Okay, that's hanging over just a little, but that's okay. And then finally this one with too many dimensionals. Not too many, too mini. Okay. Sticky, sticky. Sticky. So all kinds of people are in Florida at Disney attending the Stampin' Up event, and it's kind of fun to see what will be coming out. Maybe next year I can make it. Okay, and then a little bit of glue. Trying to make sure it's not, the envelope will still close. Okay, I think everything is tacked down. So now let's just secure all those flowers because you know we did just one dimensional in the middle. Kind of covering up the words a little. It's just abundant with flowers. flowers and flowers, and then bling. I don't know, what do you think? Should I put a ribbon on it, like right here? I keep thinking maybe I should, but I don't know what color. The last one I used that gold. This thing, maybe silver. I use this, which would be very pretty. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, finish the flowers. Well, let me know in the notes, should I do the gold or should I do the, oh, there's the iridescent striped white. I think it's looking good. Okay. So should I do this one? Or this one might be nice with the blue tones with the Lost Lagoon and the pretty peacock. Oh, that one's pretty. Because I already used this one. Look at this one. Okay, I'm just going to do it. Not stick it down, but in the comments, let me know. What else? Linen thread? Nah. Need a little sparkle. Like right here. Okay, so that one. Or this one. Let me know in the comments what you think. Still have to put the little bit of bling on there. Maybe not as crazy as the first one. So this is iridescent striped ribbon, and this one is called gold striped ribbon. Oh, that looks good too. Hold on. Oh, this one is nice because it's so sheer. And I think the silver goes good with the cloud cover and the black and white words. Okay, let me know. See, that looks good too. Okay, 3 choices: silver, iridescent, or gold. Okay, bling. Bling is loose frosted dots. These came out a while ago, and they're still an online exclusive, which is really nice. Okay, so on this one, I think I did 9. I'm going to try to do maybe 7, and just a little one, 1, 2, but little ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trying to tame it down a little. And I'm going to do medium and small. That's a medium. Medium. I love these. Medium. The rest of them are going to be small. And you know, even this pink, which I think is Flirty Flamingo, I don't know, kind of looks good in there, huh? But it's a bit distracting. Small, so 4 small. Okay, another medium. Okay, so there it is. So today's, yesterday's, and tell me which ribbon. Okay, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.